Gather round, travel enthusiasts. I'm Jetset Jeremy. I retired early, travel full-time and make it all look suspiciously effortless. If you're curious how to afford the freedom, you're in the right place. Today, I'm absolutely chuffed to share something rather special with you. Picture this. You could unpack your suitcase just once, settle in like a proper local for an entire month, and not have your bank manager sending you stern letters. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I've been there, done that, and got the slightly wrinkled t-shirt to prove it. I've spent anywhere from a week to 6 weeks testing the waters in some absolutely cracking destinations, and today I'm revealing 6 places that had me thinking, blimey, I could actually live here for ages. Here's the kicker though. One of these spots turned out to be so ridiculously affordable, it nearly made me weep with joy, while another was so obscure I'd never even heard of it until I started doing some proper detective work. Both completely bowled me over. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have 6 brilliant options for your next slow travel adventure. And trust me, some of these will surprise you more than finding a decent cup of tea in America. Let's start our journey in Portugal, shall we? If you're after some proper southern Portuguese sunshine without the tourist madness, Portimão is an absolute gem. It's got all that gorgeous coastal charm, but without feeling like you're trapped in a package holiday brochure. Within an hour's journey, you'll find beaches that would make a postcard jealous. Those stunning Algarve cliffs that Instagram influencers go mad for. And waters so turquoise, they look almost artificial. What I particularly love about Portimão is that it gives you access to the entire coast without being stuck in one of those tourist bubbles where everything costs twice as much and everyone's shouting in different languages. You can hop on a train to Lagos or Faro when you fancy a change of scenery, catch a train to Lisbon for a proper city fix, or take delightful day trips to places like Seville or Machu Picchu. It's like having your cake and eating it too, but with better weather and cheaper wine. Now, if you fancy something with a bit more community spirit, let me tell you about Mérida in Mexico. This place is like that mate who invites you round for dinner, feeds you until you can barely move, then somehow convinces you to go dancing in the town square. It's warm, welcoming, and the food is so good it should be considered a controlled substance. I ended up spending 6 weeks in Mérida, mainly because everyone kept banging on about how friendly it was and the brilliant family atmosphere. After 6 weeks there, I can confirm it's all absolutely true. Within a week, I was chatting with the neighbours like we'd known each other for years, and someone even invited me to a birthday party. Try getting that kind of welcome in London. Yes, it's hot enough to make you question your life choices, and you'll become very well acquainted with your air conditioning unit. But when the sun goes down, the city completely transforms into something magical. Music fills the air, markets come alive, and the plazas feel like one massive family celebration. If you need a break from all that socialising, you can cool off in cenotes or pop down to the beaches at Progreso, just 40 minutes away. Speaking of places steeped in history, let me tell you about Cusco in Peru. Now listen carefully. Cusco should never be just a quick stopover on your way to Machu Picchu. That's like visiting London and only seeing the airport. Stay here properly, and you'll discover a city bursting with colour, culture and history on every single corner. I'll be honest, when I first considered Cusco, I thought it might be a bit too touristy for my liking. How wrong I was. What I found was a place with its own unique personality that refuses to be overshadowed by its famous neighbour. The markets where actual locals shop, plazas where you'll see women in traditional dress going about their daily business, and a creative energy that grabs you by the lapels and doesn't let go. Sure, the altitude might knock you for 6 for a day or two. I felt like I'd been hit by a particularly enthusiastic bus, but once you adjust, this place feels like home. The day trip possibilities are endless too. Rainbow Mountain, the Sacred Valley, and yes, Machu Picchu when you're ready. For something completely different, take a quick flight to the Peruvian Amazon. Staying in a lodge there was genuinely one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I really don't love booking flights, even for going to places like these, mostly because I value my sanity. That's why I use Kiwi.com. It does the legwork and lets me pretend I'm in control. But Mexico has more surprises up its sleeve, and our next destination went from complete unknown to absolute favourite in just a couple of days. Just an easy drive north of Mexico City sits Querétaro, and honestly, it's the kind of place that makes you go, how on earth did I not know about this? The main plaza is absolutely buzzing with restaurants, music and dancing. and the cost of living makes longer stays not just possible, but downright sensible. When I was putting this list together, I was genuinely surprised that Querétaro had made the cut, because we'd stumbled upon it almost by accident. We never planned to love it, didn't even know if we'd like it, but after spending time there, it felt like we discovered one of Mexico's best-kept secrets. From Querétaro, you can easily day trip to San Miguel de Allende, Teotihuacan for a proper spa day, or Bernal to see that impressive monolith. It's also smack in the middle of one of Mexico's most famous wine and cheese regions. But honestly, just sitting in one of the historic plazas with a coffee or ice cream, people watching, is entertainment enough. Now, all these American adventures are brilliant, but what if you're craving a bit of European sophistication? Our next stop takes us across the pond to what's been voted Europe's most walkable city. We're off to Spain, specifically Seville, where I found a city where history, tradition and flamenco literally spill into the streets. Every corner feels like a movie set. From the Alcazar's gardens to plazas filled with orange trees, it's vibrant, romantic, and the sort of place where you could genuinely imagine settling down. I put Seville on this list because of the everyday comfort it offers, its incredible history, and being someone who loves exploring on foot, its amazing walkability. We wanted somewhere we could dive headfirst into Spanish traditions while still having all the conveniences of a modern city. Seville absolutely ticks every box. It's also perfect for day trips. Cordoba, Cadiz, Ronda, even a quick hop into Portugal. You get that grand Spanish lifestyle without the overwhelming chaos of Madrid or Barcelona. But perhaps Europe isn't on your radar right now. Maybe you're after somewhere cheaper and a bit more exotic. If you're looking for a place that's laid back, incredibly budget-friendly, and honestly one of my favorite places on the planet, I've got you sorted. Our final destination takes us to Vietnam and the absolutely beautiful historic town of Hoi An. Arriving in Hoi An is like stepping into a lantern-lit postcard. You'll find a charming old town, street food that will ruin you for everywhere else, and even a decent-sized expat community if you need that extra support. Pair it with nearby Da Nang, just 30 minutes away, and you've got big city conveniences combined with a beach lifestyle. I've included Hoi An and Da Nang because it's the type of place where you can live like royalty without spending the kids' inheritance. Just because the prices are low doesn't mean you should expect low quality. You'll find fantastic accommodations, some of the best food anywhere in the world, and people so warm and generous you'll probably never want to leave. Hoi An is where life just feels effortless. Even with everything Hoi An and Da Nang offer, you might fancy getting out of town occasionally. You can take in Marble Mountain's magnificent views, spend time in the imperial city of Hue, head to the cooler Central Highlands, or take a boat to the Cham Islands for world-class snorkeling and diving. Let me tell you something most travel influencers won't. Booking flights is a rigged game. Airlines hide routes, prices change faster than your Wi-Fi can load the page, and multi-city itineraries are like Sudoku on expert mode. Kiwi.com doesn't just simplify the process, it rewrites the rules. Their algorithm scans multiple airlines and booking systems, stitching together smarter, cheaper routes you won't find on the usual sites. It's the travel hack seasoned nomads use but rarely talk about. I've often saved hundreds, sometimes by just being willing to fly out of a different city or with a quick layover. If you're serious about stretching your travel budget, click the link below and let Kiwi.com turn chaos into efficiency. It's not just a booking platform, it's how I outsmart the system. So there you have it, 6 places where I've already spent serious time and would happily return for a month or more. Each offered something completely different, from Mexico's community vibes to Spain's cultural richness to Peru's incredible history. Remember those 2 special places I mentioned at the start? The complete unknown that made this list was Querétaro in Mexico, and the cheapest destination that absolutely deserves your consideration is Hoi An in Vietnam. Hoi An made such an impact during last year's visit that I'm already planning to return for a month next year. Which of these would make your long stay wish list? Drop your choice in the comments, and if you've got somewhere that didn't make my list, let me know, because honestly, I'm always looking for new places to explore. If this video was any help at all, imagine what subscribing could do for your life. Right then, video's done. Must be time for a proper cup of tea and perhaps something stronger. Cheers!